Hey guys, good morning. Red Black greetings. This is Flamengo. Today Mengão is playing, man. Welcome to the Paparazzo Rubro Negro channel. If you're arriving here, I invite you to follow, like, and share on all platforms. If you're on YouTube, I invite you to subscribe down below. Turn on the bell notification and leave that awesome like on the video. We're always here, man. Brought to you by our sponsors. On YouTube Shopping, you can get official Mango products. There are official Brazilian products starting at 89.90. You help Flamengo, okay? Flamengo gets royalties, they receive a part of that money. So you're really helping Mengão and also supporting our channel. When you buy here on YouTube Shopping, including from Flamengo's sponsor, you have access to a variety of products. There are even jerseys that you can't find in stores. You can find them here. They deliver, you get them at home. And man, you can find all kinds of jerseys here on YouTube Shopping, okay? So many times you go to the store and can't find a jacket or something, but here you can, okay? It's also important to let you know that we're here thanks to Haroldo's Caravan, so you can make sure you're at Mango's games, both in Rio de Janeiro and outside of Rio de Janeiro as well. With the Copa Libertadores, Brazilian Championship, and Brazil Cup coming up, it will be a busy year, and you can make sure you're at Flamengo's games with a reliable company that's been serving Flamengo fans for many years. The contact is here as well in the pinned comment and description. And of course, you can lose weight in a healthy way with more hair, no hair loss with the My Slim program. Get an evaluation. Besides that, there are hair treatment products, so you can also take care of your hair's health. There's a Mais Cabelo near you all over Brazil. There's always a Mais Cabelo clinic really close to you. We get here too. All this news about Mengão. Have a great carnival, Carnival Sunday, Carnival Day. But man, no arrogance, okay? Hey man, I'm not even going to read the teleprompter here. I'm not going to read the script. Did you already get it ready? No, I'm not going to do that, man. I'm not going to do that. No arrogance, feet on the ground, taking it easy, just taking it easy. That's right, just taking it easy because there's no room for arrogance. It's a tough game, a difficult match at Untitled. Oh, Botafogo released 9 players to go to Bolivia for the game in Potosi. Botafogo doesn't have their full squad, man. Nothing to do with it. It's a tough game. The guys want to win. Flamengo wants to win this thing. This little joke of, oh, it's not carnival block in the neighborhood. There will be a block in the neighborhood. No, this isn't it. This isn't just messing around. That's it. Even if they beat Botafogo, they still haven't won anything. They'll still need to play Madureira. Semi-final, 2 games today. And remember, no one has an advantage. If it's a tie, it's penalties, okay? Whoever wins faces Madureira. On the other side, Vasco had a tough time beating Volta Redonda on penalties. Fluminense faces Bangu, right? Today as well, so we have Flamengo, who, if they get past Botafogo, will still face Madureira in 2 semi-final matches, both with no advantage for anyone, and the final is a single match. So, man, no arrogance, okay? Let me explain to you. So here to bring important information before we bring in Fabricio Kika, talking about the stadium and a revelation, right? Flamengo already knows the amount it will need to build a stadium, an amount that the fans might not know. We're going to bring this information here and also the issue about the land, Fabricio Kika. We're going to react here even in partnership with him as he's bringing important information about the issue there, a ruin that was going to hinder the stadium's construction. We're going to find out all about this right now, but we're bringing you this important information, which is as follows. Take a look. Botafogo released 9 players from the match against Flamengo: Christian Lohr, Leo Link, Gabriel Abdias, Cadu Cauã, Toledo Cauã Cruz, Marquinhos, Bernardo Valim, and Wallace Davi. Okay? The reason for their release is the club's participation in the Pre-Libertadores. On Wednesday, Botafogo faces Nacional Potosí from Bolivia at 3,885 meters above sea level. Flamengo has already played there, right? So their plan was to send these 9 players ahead of time so they can adapt more quickly to the effects of the altitude. And this squad arrived in Bolivia on Friday morning. Is that right then? The The probable Flamengo lineup is set, and do you already know that these are the absences for Botafogo? We'll bring all the information here. The probable Flamengo lineup: Rossi, Royal, Leo Ortiz, Leo Pereira, Ayrton, Lucas, Pulgar, Everton, Araujo, Arrascaeta, Paqueta, Carrascal, and Pedro. Carrascal is on the left. In place of Samuelino, it could be that Samuelino comes in, right? It could be that Paqueta comes in a different position, but that's the probable lineup for Flamengo. We also have the complete information about the game. Flamengo's game is at 5:30 post Meridian Brasilia time. The stadium is at Anjinhão, right? I already said there's no advantage, right? In fact, the crowd is split half and half, right? Even though Flamengo had bought more tickets than Botafogo. Quarterfinals of the Carioca Championship. Television Globo and Premier are broadcasting it, right? The probable lineup for Botafogo is Neto, Italo or Bastos, Newton and Barbosa, Vitinho, Barreira, Danilo and Alex Teles or Nathan Fernandez, Montoro, Mateus Martins or Arthur, and Arthur Cabral, okay? This is the team of Coach Martim Anselme, the probable lineup of Coach Martim Anselme, who has even said that he didn't say he would leave Botafogo if they sold more players, and Botafogo is selling two more, they're negotiating two more. People say it's from before, right? This negotiation happened before he said that, before he even arrived. In fact, things are tough at Botafogo. Yeah, look, the referee is Bruno Arleu de Araujo, and the video assistant referee is Rodrigo Carvalhais from Miranda. All right, then. That's the information. My predicted score is 2-1 Flamengo. God willing, let me bring some important information here, right? BAP talked here about Flamengo's bonus to the employees. A few weeks ago, we paid a bonus to all the club's employees. This had never happened before. I understood that all the employees contributed to Flamengo's success. Normally, only the directors received bonuses, not the professionals who work in the club's daily routine. This time, everyone received some amount. No one got less than a monthly salary. There was no legal or contractual obligation for this. But I understood that this collective effort, responsible for an absolutely sensational result, needed to be shared with everyone. Sensational decision by BAP. And we also have some interesting information to share here because Luiz Araújo vented that he wanted to play more. That to me shows how much he really loves Flamengo, how much he identifies with Flamengo, and how much he wants it. He's upset, man. His desire to leave and be transferred, along with all this related information. It was reported on Itatiaia that there's an offer from Atlético Mineiro. Raiza said it's 5 plus 2 million euros, totaling 7. Flamengo bought him for 10. That's a pittance. It doesn't make sense, but all of that, he really wanted to leave since he's not getting many opportunities. That just shows that he really wants it a lot, right? So we see the player really wanting to be the main guy, the player wanting to have more opportunities. We really feel hoping that he can have more space, can have more opportunities, right? And then we know that this is really all about willpower, right? From the player, of really having a chance, man, really having a chance. So I saw the post here on the page, which usually has a lot of information about him and all. A page that's always bringing news about Luiz Araújo, a fan page. I don't know if these words are official from the player, but I believe he communicates a lot with them. And the way this was posted, wearing Flamengo's jersey means carrying millions history on your back. Here, it's not enough to just play soccer. You need grit, heart, and courage to honor the jersey, which never enters the field alone. So I'm going to bring this up much more because of the messages and comments the fans made. rather than actually believing it might be true. Because his page has 2.2 million followers. This one here is a fan page, okay? But from the message, I believe he might have talked to them, right? He definitely must communicate with the people who run his fan page. And it's a good message. It's a nice message. Number 7 is here. Maybe he'll score a goal today, right? Awesome. He's back, huh? He's on the roster. I hope he gets to play, right? That Felipe gives him a chance. Cristi Flaubezi stays at Eduardo Mororo's place, right? Your season at Flamengo this year of 2026 will be better than 2025. God bless you. Reina said, stay here with us. The nation is on your side. Felipe Club de Regatas Marines, red black greetings. You are ours, Macon, son of God. Thank you for being part of our nation. People are saying, you play better than Plata. I love you, my boy, number 7. Meanwhile, while Plata is there, he won't have much of a chance. Man, I think he's going to earn his spot back again. You're a great player. I hope you stay at Flamengo for many years. You play really well. Our LA knows how to represent the nation. Don't leave Mengao. You have red and black blood, little media, a lot of grit. Don't accept being transferred. You are truly Flamengo and deserve all the success. You're missed on the field. Mengao's fans love you. These are comments. Stay LA. You play so well. We love you, Luiz. We miss seeing you play. These are comments about Luiz Araújo. And there are the fans. The fans say what they feel. They say what they feel. Look, we have some important information to share here. That, talking to Fabricio Kika, he reminded me about the savings plan that Flamengo was going to start in January 2026. It started. There are already 4 million deposited there. Flamengo will deposit 4 million every month. And Fabricio Kika was telling me that with the interest, according to his calculations, it could reach close to 0.500 million reais in 5 years. In savings there, with the interest and everything, it could reach 500 million, close to 500 million, 0.5 billion reais. For Flamengo to build the stadium, an important point he mentioned to me is that it's there. The savings are set aside for Flamengo to build the stadium, and that already helps a lot, especially if a lot of interest accumulates, then it's even better. So Flamengo has these savings. That's it. The forecast is to have 0.5 billion in 5 years. And one thing that Fabricio told me was important was that someone inside the club should create a restriction there so that this money couldn't be used for anything other than the construction of the stadium. This had to be approved and everything else. But whether you like it or not, the most important thing is that this money is already being set aside to pay for Flamengo Stadium, for the construction of the stadium. But we also need to make sure they don't just stay on the island doing nothing, right? Flamengo fans want the stadium to be built. Oh, there's the Maracanã for 20 years. It might even get delayed. But Flamengo fans want the stadium built. Let's follow this chat from Fabricio Kika, and we'll react here too, together with you, in partnership with Fabricio Kika. Mundo na Bola channel, make sure to subscribe there to Mundo na Bola as well.
And there's also this. Part of this live will be covered by Paparazzo. Paparazzo asked us to send it to him so he could do a reaction. So Papa, it's with you now. It's perfect.
And
thanks for the support. Also, here's the thing. Rafael Cota brought this information about this archaeological issue that was found on the site. And when you find an archaeological issue, it's a concerning factor, okay? It's a very concerning factor, and it can indeed hinder the development of the project. It can even cause delays. The thing about this is that when we receive this kind of information, we automatically need to assess what its impact is. So what we did was we received this information and researched what the processes are. I didn't even research it actually, because I remembered this issue of archaeological sites well because of that story, that example I mentioned earlier. For you, I had a professional experience of finding a sambaki on the land, so I kind of remember the process, the procedures about this. Well, what happened? We found out.
The Sambaki, if I'm not mistaken, is a structure, a situation with bones and everything, a cemetery, indigenous, and so on. These are situations that end up delaying construction projects and so on. You're in a place where you can't do anything, right? So sometimes it gets in the way of entire construction projects and so on. He's saying that he has experience with this kind of thing.
Raphael mentioned it. And then we went to do some research. We did 2 studies. First, I consulted with someone who works at IFAN, and the person reassured me, saying, look, it's probably nothing very important there. It's a mangrove area, so before that region, we knew it was a all right, let's go. That region is historically very important for Brazil, not just for Rio de Janeiro. It's important for Brazil for a few reasons. It was the national capital, the capital of the empire. Anyway, there's the case of Valongo there. The issue is about receiving people coming from Africa. So we knew there. So it was very unlikely that nothing would be found in that area. Something would be found. Well, first, the contact I had earlier with the person from IFAN said, look, Fabricio, we know that area very well. It's very unlikely that there's anything of significant historical value, especially because that area used to be a mangrove. There were 2 streams there. There's nothing that gets in the way, nothing that gets in the way. That's it. And there on São Cristóvão Avenue, that area was between streams, a flooded region. There was never anything very relevant there, so we already knew that. Raphael suggested it could be a small dock or port, something similar. Then we had another consultation. We'd also like to thank our friend Ricardo Zogby, who helped us out here. He got in touch with a specialist. Roberto Stank, who actually worked at IFAM for many years. And he said very clearly that this won't interfere with the construction. There's a process to be resolved, but it doesn't prevent the work from continuing. The chance of this affecting the construction is very, very, very small, so that's not going to happen. An excellent piece of news, another piece of news. This is, I don't know if it's more relevant, but it's a point of conflict and a point we need to pay very close attention to, very close attention. It refers to the issue of Naturgi. Naturgi will not have its concession renewed. Its concession will not be renewed. And this is, yes, an important point. I also commented on this in the earlier video, and I went to research it even further. In fact, if the concession is not renewed, the contract loses its validity. Naturgi's occupancy contract loses its validity on July 27, 2027. Sorry, July 21, 2027. She can keep that lease if she wins the new concession, then she keeps it. Otherwise, the contract loses its value. That could happen. It could trigger a legal dispute, but it's very unlikely that Flamengo won't win. In other words, Naturgi can leave, yes, if Naturgi doesn't win the new renewal. That will also depend on the public notice, but there's a strong possibility that Naturgi will have to leave next year. Okay, there's that possibility. On the other hand, there could be even bigger complications if, for example, the public notice considers Naturgi's infrastructure as part of the bidding package, and then it will turn into a legal battle. But the natural tendency is that if Naturgi doesn't win the bid, they will have to vacate the land. Are you remembering which contract this is? This contract was signed in 1997 between the former SEGTA and CC Parque, the development company of the Rio de Janeiro City Hall. And it was stipulated that this would be valid until 2027. It could be renewed in the event that the concession is renewed by Naturgi. And what about the amount? The original amount from the rent proposed back in 97 was 132 reais adjusted for inflation. You should check its current value, but it's likely worth very little. Well, another important issue.
But that's part of this discussion, man. I invite you all to follow along. the rest of the interview. Man, my setup glitched here, but it's all good. I invite you all to watch the rest of the interview with Daliv Fabrizio Kika on the Mundo Nabola channel, okay? He will even talk about some important issues like Flamengo. BAP himself has to move forward with the project, has to build the stadium. There's no point in holding back like, oh, I'm going to buy some time and all that. And nothing will be done at Maracanã. The situation at Maracanã won't improve. It doesn't put any pressure on the opponent. It won't turn Maracanã into a stadium with more pressure, right? Do some construction. But it also needs Fluminense's approval since they own 35%. And is Maracanã going to focus on Maracanã and trust what Fundação Getúlio Vargas and company have in their hands? That suddenly, oh, high interest rates, everything is more expensive, man. But you can't just get comfortable, right? Flamengo can't get comfortable, so I invite you to go there and follow along. We've already talked about this fund that Flamengo has. This savings that Flamengo is making will reach $500 million practically in 5 years. The interest rates can also go down, but Flamengo can't give up on building the stadium, right? Yeah? Difficulties will always come, and Flamengo can't give up easily, right? Use some things to lean on to support yourself, and instead of just buying time to do things and all, you give up. You can't give up, right? And we're here to demand as well. Flamengo's fans want the stadium, and Flamengo's managing to raise money and make money for that. But I think if it's done at the right time, right, with $500 million in cash and lower interest rates, I have no doubt. In 5 years, if Flamengo can buy that time, it would be the right moment. It would be Flamengo already with money in the bank, with other situations. It would be perfect, right, for Flamengo to build its own stadium. But check out Mundo Nabola. He did an amazing live and explained a lot of things. That's right. Go ahead and subscribe to the Mundo Nabola channel by Fabrizio Kika. He's awesome. That's it. Please follow, like, and share on all platforms. On YouTube, subscribe, turn on notifications, click the bell, and like the video. Red and black greetings. This is Flamengo.